And we are live. Happy November.
Wow, that was instant. I have it on my iPad and it just popped up with the video. Look at
Huh, no
us.
15-second delay.
I don't know. Maybe not. I'm confused.
Look, let's just not look a gift horse in the mouth. I think we should be grateful
Nope.
for this.
Yes, precisely. Do you want me to do a quick sound check?
Yeah, that sounds good.
All right, let me mute this.
Hello, this is Jeff.
And this is Dom. So what happened is
Yeah,
I turned the volume on the iPad up, but Twitch was muted, which is not a helpful experience. But it sounds great.
okay.
We're great.
I'm happy. That all makes me happy.
Yeah. Oh, welcome to my cozy zone over here.
You look cold.
I'm cold. I'm very cold. I don't know if my house is cold or if I am having like the little vaccine chill. I think it's the latter, but I'm very cold.
What is the ambient temperature in your house right now?
That's a great question. Let me ask HomeKit.
What
Nope,
is this? I feel like I'm viewing an entirely new world here.
it's 69 up here.
Nice.
Nice. I have home automated the shit out of this place. It works great.
That's fantastic. I'm going to be selectively muting
Yeah.
myself for the stream, but not for Zoom, because I would like to eat my snack.
Oh, nice. What are you having?
Pears. A
Ooh,
pear.
delicious.
I'm overselling it.
Yeah.
It's just one pear.
We could pivot into an ASMR stream. I feel like eating fruit on camera is probably someone's idea of a good time.
I would
Okay, let's
happily
go from
lick a
Twitch though.
microphone for money.
Yeah, I would too. ASMR just seems like a great deal to be honest. Like, good on them. They figured it out.
Yeah, I'm not to sell myself short, but I think that this sort of sex appeal level is not quite close to the top, the P90, that would require for that to work.
I'm not sure what people get out of that, though I assume it is generally like heteronormative as hell. So probably.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know.
Oh,
When I first learned about it, I was like, yeah, that makes sense. So there's clearly part of my lizard brain that I think understands the appeal of hearing someone lick a microphone.
lizard brain. It's so good. Yeah. Oh yeah, happy Wednesday. I like this stream time. This is nice.
I'm glad it's working out.
It's working out great. Thanks for doing it so early in the day for you.
No, it's great. And then we're usually done around 7 or 7:30, and that's a perfectly sane later dinner time for me.
Yeah. You can have some takeout, just like show up right when the stream ends if you coordinate it right. Uh yeah. What have you been playing this week?
I have not played any video games this week at all. The last
Whoa.
video game I
You've only
played
made video
was
games.
just sampling Days Gone, trying to figure out how their weapon wheel works. I started a whole weapon wheel
Nice.
doc in our Notion, just like
Oh, I
going
love
over
it.
like how weapon wheels function. And they are
Cool.
they're actually way more
Complicated.
common than I realized. It's just like playing Horizon Zero Dawn. I just like didn't even like consciously realize that was a weapon wheel, but it's there.
I think it maps so well to the analog stick. It's like maybe the biggest controller UI innovation I can think of is like
Yeah.
that and the dual stick aiming are like two extremely unique things.
Um, Horizon Zero Dawn also interestingly also has the tool belt, which you use the D-pad for.
I remember that, really?
Yeah, you hit left and right on the on the D-pad to go through like your healing potions and other like your buffs basically. And it
Oh, this thing down
also
here.
like the health
Yeah,
pack
yeah.
thing. Yeah.
That's right. Okay. Okay, I'm digging that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like somehow a lot of these games manage to make use of every face button fairly effectively,
They do.
even in a dualistic capacity. So
Yeah, we're quickly
I'm
running out
really
of face
curious.
buttons. Well, we actually haven't used any face buttons at all, right? We're
I don't think we've
currently
used a single face button. Yeah.
we currently have bumpers and right trigger taken up, and we can still do much more. There's no crouch in this game that I know of yet. We haven't transitioned to becoming mechs, as far as I know.
Wait, there's no crash in this game? What
There's
do you
no
mean?
crouch in this game.
Oh, crouch. Oh, no crouch. We don't need circle for crouch now.
Yeah.
Though maybe like circle hops you out of the tank and you can run around. That would be a
I
terribly scary
thought
mechanic.
about having like cutscenes where the camera zooms into the tank and you hop out, but I think we'd have to change the rendering style.
A little bit, yeah, but that would be cool.
It would be cool. I think we'd have to
Well,
go back to.
it
We'd
could
have
sort
to
of
go.
be.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say it could be sort of atmospheric, where it's like it zooms into the cockpit, and then you go to like the static hand drawn cutscene style that requires us not to animate like very high res characters.
Yeah, for sure. I just thought it would be cool to have something like that as a transitional. But because
Yeah,
all of our wireframes are actual geometry, getting close to them will make them very thick looking.
that's a good point.
We'd have
That's
to
a
go
very
back to
good
like
point. I
edge
wouldn't.
detection techniques and that sort of thing.
Yeah,
Which,
I
if I can figure
wonder.
out a way to color that, then I would. That's actually an easier way
Oh,
of doing geometry.
I mean, that would be really nice because yeah, the sort of like the manual way we're doing it is a lot of work to get right.
It's a lot of work. Yeah.
Yeah, I want a concept artist. I want to go through some concepts too because like
Yeah, man.
I
Who
wonder
should we
what is
talk
in this
to? Who,
vein.
like, I wish I knew more artists in the direct network because I think recruiting would be kind of difficult. I was in the R indie game dev or R game dev Discord. So it's
Mhm.
weird. It's like the Discord that corresponds to the game dev subreddit or the indie game dev subreddit, and there is like a jobs unpaid. Uh, there's like a jobs unpaid channel, and it's just like a bunch of people looking
Oh
for
no.
artists. I'm just like, how do I stand out from this? You know?
I don't want to be that person. Yeah.
Yeah. But we kind of have to be. We actually have less than what a lot of those folks have. Some
That's
people
true.
just have like a game that's like on Steam already, you know, and they're like, we need it. We need an artist to come help us.
That's honestly wild to me. Though I guess, yeah, I guess being on Steam doesn't actually mean you made any money or that your game is good. So, is this our game is not gamedeveloper.com, which is the previous Kama Sutra, and they're not connected, right?
They're not related at all. Yeah. Besides
Okay,
the fact that they're
great.
generally interested in games.
Yes. I just wasn't sure if this was their joint as well. Given that they've taken the most generic name in the world, they could have
I'm
done a
actually
little more
surprised that
for
they were
me.
able to get GameDeveloper.com. I guess they did do Game Developer Magazine, which was the same thing as Gama Sutra. So I guess maybe that was it.
Ah, gotcha. Okay, that makes sense. I mean, maybe they pulled a good old Adam Ludwin too, and just texted someone who had the domain name, reached out to the administrative contact.
I didn't play any games, but I did start to consume both cyberpunk and tank lore content.
Oh,
So
are you reading the Bolo novel?
I did read about half of the Bolo short story collection,
Okay.
and it was exceptionally weird and bizarre.
Hmm.
And I think we talked about it already. But now, so I like stopped by on Sunday, which was Halloween. Did you do anything for Halloween, by the way?
Nah, I had a really low key Halloween.
Same.
It involved like going to IKEA. It was nothing.
Home ownership.
I didn't turn the porch light on, so I got no children. Which I feel like Halloween Scrooge, but next year I'm gonna go to town.
I feel like being Halloween Scrooge is actually weirdly in theme, right?
For me?
No, just in theme for the holiday. Just being like a
Oh,
grouchy,
oh, it's true.
antisocial
Yeah,
person.
yeah.
Yeah. My excuse is that we don't really have a
Uh,
porch light that we can turn on. It's like our whole setup because I live in like a fourplex, like the ownership of the various lights externally is a little bit questionable, which then I think disincentivizes actually having external lights, especially on the front. So I don't think we've had
spooky.
a light on to turn on. So I got no doorbell rings, which I did not take personally. In fact, I was somewhat grateful for because I didn't have any candy. Or what candy I do have, I want to eat myself.
I was gonna say that's for you. Yeah.
I have a bag of those. Do you know what Cadbury mini eggs are?
Yes, delicious is what they are.
I'm not talking about the weird ooze-filled Cadbury eggs. I'm talking about like the M&M style Cadbury mini eggs, but they have real chocolate in them. Yes, these motherfuckers.
These are good too. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I am not like chocolate candy. Not my first pick. I'm a sweet tarts man. I like the weird fruity candy. That's bizarre. Some people are chocolate, some people aren't.
I like them both. Depends on the mood.
I like them both too, but I know what I reach for first, which
Okay,
is
yeah.
usually the tarts.
Sour Patch Kids,
Oh, so good.
Yeah.
Just one of the top candies. Yeah.
Sour Punch Ropes, also really good.
Mm-hmm.
Sour Punch Ropes, they like make my jaw tingle before I even bite into them. Do you know that kind of
Ooh.
like animalistic, like pre-dopamine hit you get when you're about to bite into something delicious?
I used to experience that with warheads. If you remember those,
I do. Wait, Warheads, were they sour or
they were like super sour.
Okay, yeah.
Sometimes both. I think there was probably like the hot ones too, but they were always sour. And
I
they
think
always,
Atomic
like,
Fireball is the hot one.
Oh yeah. But like, was hot candy ever hot? It was like just extra cinnamon, really.
Maybe ginger. They threw that. Maybe they snuck that in there somehow. I don't know.
Yeah, ginger and cinnamon, but no one gave me like a ghost pepper gobstopper or something, which would have been truly awful.
You know, it occurs to me just now that rather than getting our stream off of Twitch, we could have just been recording it locally through OBS this entire time. And the audio quality would probably be even better.
Wait, like, oh, yeah, that's probably true. We didn't have to download shit, did we?
So my story is that on Sunday, I actually, I've been trying to convince myself to do a little bit of like game industry networking. And it is like traditionally not a very Jeff Lee thing to do any kind of networking whatsoever. I very much like stand in the corner when I go to parties. The Bay Area game developers Slack that we're both in has an event meetups channel, and they did kind of like a Jackbox meetup on Sunday.
Oh, cool. A remote one. That's lovely.
It was great. It was one of those awkward situations where like everybody else seemed to know each other except me, so I felt like I was crashing a party a little bit. But everyone was very, very
like
nice.
Jackbox kryptonite.
Yeah. And I happened to show up early. And it actually turns out maybe to be a generally good thing to show up early to these things because you can just actually have a real conversation with people that are hanging out early. Because once a Discord voice channel gets to like 8 people, you're kind of not really having a super focused conversation at that point. And the person I talked to asked me about our game, and I told him about it, and he was like, "Have you seen the anime Girl und Panzer?"
No.
And and it is about like a girls' high school.
Holy shit. Okay. Yeah.
And one of their clubs is like the English translation is tankery.
Tankery.
But it's basically like kendo but with tanks. And essentially like it's just like an intramural or cross school club sport to just basically like shoot people with tanks. Shoot other people sitting in tanks with your tank.
Oh, holy shit.
And
okay.
I have lots of thoughts about this particular thing. I made it about, I think, 4 episodes in.
Okay.
And there's a whole Freudian reading of this whole thing that you can kind of like maybe spend some time on. But it did remind me that tank warfare can be pretty exciting, and they do get into kind of like they have actually thought quite a bit about like making the tank action scenes quite tactical oriented. And so
that's cool.
yeah,
I like
and
that
so
a lot.
it was fun for that reason, and it made me want to like add stealth to the game again. We had stealth before, but like it made me want to like add more stealth because they did like their first big fight like ends up in an urban combat situation, and they're kind of like sneaking around and hiding and that kind of thing, which is cool.
That's cool. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, should I watch this, or have you suffered the blow?
I would actually say it's not bad. So
Okay.
if you kind of want to turn your brain off and then just
Sure,
enjoy something,
yeah.
it's like half tanks and then half about high school girls generally being pretty kind to each other, which is cool. You know,
Okay. Yeah.
the politics of this kind of thing are always the enjoyable thing that I think we'd like to sink our teeth into, and it is probably probably P50 is probably the median in terms of its like built-in misogyny, like visually speaking.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that it's only girls that do the tank combat is interesting. I think it's a deliberate irony on the part of the writer to kind of build that in.
I mean, I feel like the show could be quite subversive if done correctly that way.
I'm still waiting for the subversion to set in. They like there's a scene where they deliberately call it the fact that only girls do it, and they do it because it makes them more marriageable and like it actually enhances their like heteronormative feminine qualities. And it makes so little sense in the context of the show that like I think the author is deliberately trying to make a statement about it.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah. That I can sort of sink my teeth into. That's interesting.
My last comment
That's
about this is that
hilarious.
like
Okay.
it is very geekily into like World War II and in particular like German tank technology, and there's like super into like Rummel, the Desert Fox, and I think that there's like a latent amount of like Axis nostalgia in Japan that is like a pretty understated part of the culture, I think, or maybe overstated because it's in this anime here. But what's interesting is like I think a month ago, or in very very recent history, there was
I
a
was gonna say these are definitely dressed up as German tank commanders.
yes, they absolutely
Like,
are.
shit.
They absolutely are.
Okay.
And they're very like these are like the main high school that the protagonist high school. They drive all German tanks. And
There's just a missing swastika right here. Like,
yes,
good God.
yeah, like the brunette also has the little like with the eagle wings on her collar, like
Interesting.
yeah.
Okay.
So last month there was a cafe in Osaka that got into trouble because they had like a Nazi theme.
Oh, was it the robot restaurant or a different cafe in Japan that got in trouble for doing a Nazi party?
I think what we're both drilling at here is that this is like there's like a theme. DeMarco asks, "Oh wow, I missed the last game as Waifu's now."
Hey, Danilo.
There actually, I would say the main characters of the show are pretty waifu, in general. But our game, as of yet, does not have a waifu. However, we do want to have a compelling Hades style branching. Well, I don't know if a branching is necessarily the key point, but like a narrative with compelling characters.
Narrative.
That has like yeah. Sorry, DeMarco. Unsubscribe.
Rip.
Well, we're at least talking about it. You can subscribe to our stream where we will talk about waifus, and then may or may not build it into the game.
I think the context is that Jeff got some tank inspiration from this.
Yeah. Boy, I think the more I talk about this, the bigger hole I will dig myself into. But at any rate, my thesis statement is that like there is a latent amount of like Axis nostalgia in Japanese culture, because I'm just recently reminded of this cafe in Osaka that took a lot of online heat recently because they basically had like Nazi cosplay, like straight up like SS uniforms with swastika armbands and stuff. Um, and
Fascinating. Yeah. Well, to be fair, there's seems to be just as much like Nazi love in America too. So like, I don't
it
know.
is true, like especially like the cartoonish early days of the Trump presidency. Where people were just going to like cotillions doing Nazi salutes into the camera and then posting it to
Oh man,
Instagram or whatever.
dude, the the South is sure never gotten over a lot of things, and I think that's one of them. Okay, I'm gonna make a risky Google, which is girl transformation tank anime. Did DeMarco, are you gonna lead me astray? Hmm. Okay, well, I'm glad I ended up with anything super NSFW
Girls
here.
who turn into
But
tanks. We're just talking about an
I'm
anime
so
where
afraid to
girls
type that
drive
phrase.
tanks. So they only embody tanks spiritually, right?
Who turned into
And
tanks
not
anime.
like actually transforming into tanks, which
As I say, I feel like I think Girl in Panzer has just like, oh, okay. It's not tanks, it's warships. Holy shit. What? Oh my goodness. Okay. So wait, this is Transformers plus waifus plus naval combat?
yeah,
That's
yeah.
really incredible.
Okay, and so there's a little bit of I suppose
Oh
this is
wow.
where we can get into the overlap with cyberpunk, right? Because I think cyberpunk has the kind of like machine fetishism, like the eroticism of mechanical objects, right? Um,
Yeah, definitely. This is
so
hilarious.
this is all relevant to the game, right? We're sort of riding the synthwave aesthetically, at least so far, and so all of this stuff needs to be considered when we're talking about the thematic and aesthetic construction of the game.
Absolutely.
Yeah. When you
Yeah,
when
that
you're
was that
shooting
was
things,
possibly one of the stranger tangents I did not expect.
the Freudian reading of all of this is when you're shooting things and you're penetrating them to a certain degree, right? Like, and one might
I
say
was
that
just
all
say,
of
I
sports
mean,
is that, right?
oh man, you are you are on a roll. We should just go watch Zardoz, I think is what I'm hearing. Just make Zardoz the video game and call it a day.
I think maybe we
Wait,
just need to flip on the
is
anime
that
right now and just ride that out for the next 90 minutes.
oh goodness. Yeah. Yeah, it's all relevant as DeMarco says. Yep.
So I think that the anime is like compelling enough that I will try to watch it through. I
Okay.
fell off the anime. Like I had a big anime kick when I was in college, but this is like 20 years ago we're talking about, right? And then I just like completely fell off of it because, like, quite frankly, I found like to quote to quote Mode from The Big Lebowski, I found the story to be ludicrous. And in general, I there was a little bit too much suspension of disbelief that most anime was asking me for. And
I think, there's the kind where I can tell they're like trying to sell me toys and the kind where they're like putting together a narrative. And I think those two are just sort of on opposite sides of a field for me.
Sure.
Yeah.
um, how is the anime relevant to our business? Well, you'd be surprised. You would be surprised.
Holy shit.
The thing is that I do
Whew.
think that game development studios can expense all the manner of like, I'm just gonna buy 50 PS5s and give them to all of my devs, and it's part of the business expense.
No, no, that is ludicrous because those don't exist
Although
still.
you could probably like you could expense them as assets because you could
Oh
flip them.
yeah.
That would actually be a viable side hustle for jeffandom.com,
Oh,
right?
our entire game development fund comes from buying PS5s and selling them as
Scalping
scalpers.
PS5s. That's what we're gonna get into.
We honestly like I wonder, yeah. Tell me what my hourly rate could be because like I don't know.
I don't know.
Gotta make money somehow.
Is scalping is that illegal technically? Scalping a PS5?
Oh no, not at all.
Because you're just
That's
like
the market at
eBaying it,
work.
right?
Yeah, no, that is the market working to code. Yeah. Yeah,
DeMarco
short-term and
has like
long-term assets. I love
deep
it.
tax knowledge here. We should get them to be our CPA when the time comes.
Sounds like someone who's expensed an anime before.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe. I've expensed video games before. I expensed a bunch of Jane.
Yeah, absolutely. I believe that there was an entire VR rig in that office in a blockchain company.
We were just on
We're just
the
riding the
leading
the
edge of
metaverse edge
the
before it was
metaverse.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. DeMarco doesn't want to be our CPA because they say that they flunked out of Econ 101. You know what? I think
can't
it's
blame
the
him.
effort that
I don't want to be my
matters.
CPA either.
Okay. The reason why I watched the anime was because it reminded me that like stealth is a good thing for a tank game. And so like we don't have to build stealth right now, but I was thinking we could talk about it at least.
Yeah, that reminded me that we should just play a bunch of tank games. Like
World of
I
Tanks.
haven't even touched World of Tanks, but like this is out there, right? It's just tank combat. Freemium
It is like
tank combat.
one
It's
of the
probably gonna suck
most
and be
successful early freemium games, right? World of Tanks.
right.
I know nothing about
we should like probably play this.
I know nothing about the subculture of World of Tanks, but it is probably both extremely weird and extremely lucrative. And I just saw high school girls standing next to tanks in one of those image searches that you had before. Go back a couple.
Oh, is this
There, middle, like second
oh,
row. What the fuck? Oh, you know what? It's just
it's a Girls in Panzer loading
video
screen.
game. Okay. So clearly that anime has been monetized.
Sorry, Duncan on Zuck in the chat.
Yeah, Zuckerberg
I heard
metaverse. Yep.
well, yeah, and like, you know, who like the man famous for wanting to rate his waifus. Yeah.
Well, it is claimed that a platform hasn't really made it until you put porn on it. Supposedly, now waifus aren't porn specifically, but it's it's all along the same vector, right? Psychologically.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, I feel like I heard it must have been this game where someone was like, God, there's so much fucking noise on that screen. Someone leaked confidential military specs to like World of Tanks because they were talking like it's some soldier playing it who was talking about how fast the tank can actually go or something.
Yeah.
Which is hilarious. And I think it's not. It was. They were like, oh yeah, World of Tanks leaked some classified specs again. Like whoopsies.
Yeah, I wonder in the. I have all these conversations in my head to myself, in a healthy way. I would like to think, about like.
Oh, I mean, I have a rich inner voice. Yes.
About like how ridiculous it is to base a game on the conceit that the most sophisticated and powerful military innovation of the cyberpunk future is a tank. You know what I mean? Because surely in the future everyone's just going to be firing hypersonic missiles at each other, right? From the comfort of like an underground bunker.
It's a good point.
But it doesn't matter, right? I think we're trying to make tanks cool again, right? Like mecha are out, jets are out, drones are the things that we're going to shoot. We're bringing back tanks. And it doesn't matter. They're just cool,
Well,
right?
I kind of imagine the sucker in terms of like, I don't know, it's like future roboticized warfare, right? Like maybe we're the only human on the battlefield because we are fighting the dystopian corporate whatever leaders that actually just have a robot army that we're still dealing with for deploying their fascism. So I can get into it.
Okay.
We'll see. But also tanks are cool. We're going to make them cool.
I just thought of something that would be rad that would involve zooming in the camera, which is like, if you want to like run over people or a Boston Dynamics robot dog if we feel like we don't want to murder people in the game. You'd want to be zoomed in so you could see the
Oh
actual
man, we should really dunk on some Boston Dynamics in here. That feels like
Yeah,
an
we should kill the
opportunity
robot
just
dog.
waiting to.
And yeah, I was gonna make a unnecessary comment about cops, but it doesn't necessarily have to be that explicit.
We're gonna be fighting the police no matter what's happening in this game.
Yeah.
All cops remain bad, and they are almost certainly going to be the enemy.
Okay, so where were we? We've digressed like a number of times. We should play World of Tanks. That was the close of that conversation. Let's talk about this game though.
Yeah, it's free, right? Like we might as well fire it up and see how bad it is. I really like these rockets. They've got a very satisfying little like.
They're super fun. You could put a particle emitter on it again. And they'd be really good.
Yeah, we need some. I mean, we just need some badass particles in this game. I feel like
the problem is like any time spent tuning a particle emitter in the state of the game, the state that the game is in right now.
Mm-hmm.
I guess it's not wasted time, but you just have to like moderate your time because it's probably not the visual effect that we're ultimately gonna settle on. Unless
that's true. Yeah. I do have the sense that like, I mean, this for one thing, this text is super blurry, and I think that's my fault. But I feel like our particles also are blurry by comparison. Like I would like to tighten this up to like at least the program art level. Like I think we've sort of surpassed this a while ago.
Are you saying that you want to tighten up the graphics? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, on level 3, yeah. Only on level 3 though.
You're the only human operator on the field because all the cybernetic operated tanks act in MOSFET with lag, and so you end up tearing through the battlefield because of reaction time generally. Yeah, everything's on like a TCP/IP 200 millisecond ping.
Yes.
And
yes, they're slow because they have to do their HTTPS handshake. And
yeah, yeah.
Waiting.
They're all using the same server technology that that Roblox was on when it was down for 5 days straight. Gosh, I shouldn't dunk on the Roblox people. I used to be a server person, so.
I was gonna say, I mean, I just hug ups to them. I don't know what happened. I didn't read a postmortem, but like
solidarity
like 3
to
days
the Roblox
downtime is ridiculous. Yeah, that must have sucked.
Yeah, generally, any downtime longer than like half a day is something severely wrong, right?
Oh yeah, you deleted the whole database.
Yeah. I really do want to read the postmortem for that though, just so I can figure out how not to do it.
It'll be really interesting.
No.
Yeah. All right, I'm kind of doing a defective use of the turret here, or the mortar, but I like it.
Oh, the degenerate case is basically shooting yourself. Is that the idea?
Yeah, trying to.
It should probably hurt you, just right?
Following myself. I think the mortar needs to self-hurt. Yeah, that's probably in the in anything. God, this cursor. Is it locked to the screen? You did it. Oh my god, you did it.
Oh, I don't even remember doing it. Are you using the gamepad right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, this is such a huge improvement. Holy cow.
I don't remember intentionally doing that. I think the build cursor is not locked to the screen. I think try building something?
No, it's locked.
Oh, shit.
Well, whatever you did a good job.
I do not recall making that change. Boy.
Okay. That's fine.
Just like going on a bender, like just having like a total trip while you're writing code. Things happen.
Yeah, you had a busy Halloween is what it sounds like. Man, there's so much. This looks so cool.
One thing I will say about the gamepad cursor is that in both the case of the build cursor and in the case of the mortar indicator, I think that the motion needs to be tracked in world space rather than screen space. Does that make sense? Because right now,
yes.
right
Because it
now,
moves faster the further
the
away I
further
am.
away it's
Yeah.
going to move faster because screen space essentially moves faster. DeMarco's asking about particle mace, which is like actually a fucking awesome name for anything.
I know. I haven't, but I want. Oh
Oh yeah,
man.
there you go.
All right. This goes in the inspiration channel for sure. I would like to see this in motion, actually.
Okay, I will write it down. I'll make a note in our vibes channel.
Cool. Sounds good. Somebody still hasn't. Whoa. Is the mace that you have a mace of particles traveling around with you? Because that's actually really cool.
Do you hit things with those orange triangles?
It looks like they've got velocity and you're oh
Oh
man.
yes.
That's that's bonkers. I love it.
Great idea for a game.
This is particle flail.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Okay, you defeat everything in your zone and you get a new zone. This is a
There
fun
was this
aesthetic.
whole
I like it
spat
a
of
lot.
these sort of like kind of physicsy oriented orbit games. This one's actually a little bit simpler, but
Mm.
I remember playing one where you essentially had to steer particle streams using gravity wells. So you'd basically place like circular gravity wells, and they would be
Whoa.
larger if they had more mass, and they would essentially just
Neat.
bend. They would bend like particle streams, and you had to make sure that like particle streams like would pass over a certain area. Um,
That sounds pretty
at a
cool.
certain point, it gets a little bit tedious trying to solve three body problems or multi body gravity problems in your head.
Mm. Hmm.
This seems a lot more satisfying and fun.
Yeah. One like I love this has some really punchy screen shake, and I really like the way explosions and like effects are happening.
Yeah,
The ripple on destruction is very this thing has a very consistent vibe and aesthetic.
yeah.
Super Marco is just full of it. What else you got? Super Luminauts. I haven't even heard of this. Nope.
It has the aggro crab seal of quality,
That's important.
which I trust. Yes.
What is going on here?
This reminds me a lot of
Okay.
Kix, QIX, old school.
Oh man, this has big vector energy. I love it.
Yeah.
Whoa. Cool.
Kind of Geometry
Okay.
Wars.
Yeah. Geometry Wars, but like sort of more retro. Like Geometry Wars was this very high def, like we have
Yeah.
triangles, but this is very like, uh, yeah, very old school.
I think the
And this is
particle
enter
emitter that
and
we can
exit
start with
space.
is the emitting of small line segments with bloom lighting.
I love everything about this. Sorry. The emitting of small line segments with boom. Yes, yes, that would be rad.
Of like various lengths. The shorter they are, the closer to sparks that they are.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've made a note of super luminauts as well. These are all great.
Excellent. Yeah, I'm just into it. And also like people with our vibe.
Yes.
Yeah, I would like to get the aggro crab seal of quality. That seems like a goal I have now. Yes, I will 100% pay $5 for that later. Yeah, so sparks that are line segments with bloom. Yeah, basically we've got all that set up basically. Oops. And what are they now? Are they?
They're
Actually,
really
just main
terrible
dev,
little orange billboards, I think. And I don't know why they're fuzzy. I think it's literally
Everything
that
in Unity is fuzzy.
everything in Unity is fuzzy. You have to uncheck the
I mean,
fuzzy
I just don't
checkbox.
understand. Yeah, I feel like they could have done things that I don't know. I guess I'm so used to like web stuff that like the way 3D graphics work with resolution. I'm just like, you did what now? Where is this a manager? What makes these client effects?
The particle emitters?
There must
Yeah, I think it's client
there
effects.
must be an emitter somewhere in here. Yeah.
Oh, you know what? I might be.
Okay. The client
If you go
effects
into the
creature.
actual script, um, I believe for the damager.
Hmm. Damageable. Oh, whatever. I'll open a script.
Or it might be the.
Projectile damager.
Yes.
Hit side. Okay. Client effects bullet explosion. Okay. So this, I mean, we must have a. There we go. Take me to prefab town.
So those little ninja
And
star things
then
are icons. They're gizmos. Okay, yeah.
that's our gizmo. Yeah.
Just switch them off with extreme prejudice.
Yep. Nobody needed that. And then if I make it looping, then this sort of turns into a real time thing.
Yeah. It was the most perfunctory particle emitter that I could create, and it was created back in the age of the Fox tank. So that's exactly how old this piece of technology is. Yeah. Speaking of another game that we should be playing for visual inspiration is Star Fox, which I think we can play on the Nintendo Switch SNES library. It's not quite vector vibe; it's more poly, like extreme low poly vibe, but I dig it.
I mean, this thing was perfect though, and honestly, Star Fox 64 I think is my favorite because it kind of just like took the vibe and went a little harder.
I did not play Star Fox 64.
Oh, it is like as good as Star Fox.
Nice.
Though it sure has that N64 smear look to it, doesn't it?
I think the N64 art styles, like that era plus like PS1, is just not. Mm-hmm. It's not gonna like age well over time, right? I think you have to have like a particular nostalgia for it. Whereas like the high,
who's run this through a 4K HD?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Still looks kind of smeary to me.
It does. It does. Yeah. Yeah. 4K texture. That's hilarious.
Everything in N64 was super foggy, right? Because I think actually the far plane was super close to the camera because they otherwise, like, I guess they were like fill rate constrained. They just couldn't push the pixels out.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense. Well, I fucking love this game.
Okay.
But yeah, let's play the original Star Fox too. They're both great. I think you can pay Nintendo for the privilege of playing a N64 game badly on your Switch now, but I will not.
Oh yeah, don't you have to get the Nintendo Online expansion pack for some exorbitant amount of money?
Yeah, you pay them more money, which seems bizarre, and apparently it's just not good.
Hmm.
Yeah, really, really strange.
A 3DS remake of Star Fox 64, DeMarco says.
Oh, hello.
Yeah.
3DS remake. Star Fox 64. Star Fox 64 3D. Okay. Man, why does Nintendo just names things in quite possibly the worst way?
It looks better. It looks way better.
Oh, it looks a lot better, yeah. I mean,
it looks like a PS2 game.
Yep, they upgraded, but it's in 3 whole dimensions. Damn, shit, man. I remember this game looking so good. That's just hilarious to me.
You know, I did play on the N64 was Rogue Squadron, which I guess maybe has similar vibes. Yeah. I think you needed to get the extra RAM pack. Like you could buy extra RAM for your N64.
I remember you stuck it. Oh yeah, you stuck it inside. There was like a little port where they just like left the RAM out. It was weird that they just left the RAM.
Well, it had a little hatch on the front of the console, and you flipped it open.
Exactly.
And then I think it was just RAM. Maybe they had the foresight of adding that in because they were just like budgeting out the initial parts, and like, there's no way we can get people enough RAM for what we want to do with
it was video memory, right? Is that what it was?
I have no idea.
Okay. Oh man, I'm having the Unity thing where Unity just accepts every other mouse click, and boy, is that frustrating.
I think in 2020 we're on 2021.2, and it basically is missing the last UI action, whether that's a keystroke or a mouse click or something like that. Um,
Yeah,
t-
they said it's fixed. So 2021.2.1. As soon as it comes out, I'm going to install it.
yeah. I mean, to Unity's credit, they responded to my bug reports almost immediately.
It's pretty good. Yeah, I'm impressed.
The one they didn't respond to was if you hit Command K, it goes to the quick switcher.
Okay.
We talked about this last time.
Uh-huh.
Search for something.
Yo, yeah. Damage.
Yeah, and just hit enter, and then hit Command K again. Do you notice how your text?
What?
Do you notice how your text is not pre-selected?
Yeah, and also it's still here, which I didn't want.
Yeah, so you have to Command A, and well, I mean, most of these like fast search, quick search, or fast open type interfaces, they'll preserve your previous query, but they'll highlight it. And in fact, the previous version of this in Unity did highlight it. I did send them a bug report about that, but they haven't gotten back to me. And they already set my expectations sky high, because like the other two bug reports I sent them, they were like, "Oh yeah, by the way, that's in the database. It's going to be fixed." On the weekend, they did that. It was incredible.
I mean, I do like the Unity devs. They've been pretty nice. I maintain that when I type something in here, I expect it to be empty on the next one.
Okay.
Because at least that's what VS Code and Alfred do to me. So
like if you do Command F, it'll preserve the last thing that you searched for, I think.
That's true. Shift Command F, but not the quick switcher.
Okay.
Yeah, but both of the fines do though. You're right.
Yeah.
Wow, the expansion pack took the N64 from 4 MB to 8 MB of RAM. Whew.
They're just drunk on RAM at that point.
I was gonna say we're only generating like we're using like our 16 GB computers to generate 4 GB of video, just kind of randomly off the cuff.
I have 16 gig of RAM on my computer, and I ran out of memory because I was trying to run the Unity profiler at the same time as running the game, and it just like blew up.
Well, you're gonna need that Pro.
I wouldn't give me more RAM unless I spent
Pro power.
Unless I spent more money.
But you can get more RAM.
I can get more RAM. That is true.
In the future.
You're technically correct. Yeah.
Oh, hilarious. Oh man. I'm down to mess with these particles.
You want to mess with particles? Okay.
Yeah, you know I love particle emitters.
Yeah.
But also like what like.
So today is going to be a sizzle day. That's what you're saying.
It's a sizzle day, yeah.
Okay. I mean, every day should be a sizzle day, but it can't be.
Every day should be a sizzle. We're good at sizzle. Yeah, I want to like a color over lifetime. What is the shape this is rendering?
It's a bones day.
It's a bones day. What are bones? Am I bone?
Sounds like
we do bones, motherfucker. Jeff, have you read Gideon the Ninth? Have I recommended this book to you?
No.
Okay. It's extremely good and extremely weird. It is a gothic murder mystery in space that's kind of got a Warhammer vibe about lesbian space necromancers. And it's like, it is like extremely weird and great. And they definitely, somewhere in the book, they say, "We do bones, motherfucker."
Okay.
It's a journey. I loved it. I would recommend.
I'm into it. Oh, yeah. DeMarco's talking about the TikTok thing. I knew about this.
What?
There's this adorable pup on TikTok. I forget what breed he is. I think he's some kind of bulldog.
Pug. TikTok pug bones. Okay.
Yes. Now he's on morning shows. But basically he does like a Groundhog's Day kind of thing, but every day.
Oh man, this is like David Lynch reading you the weather every morning. I love it.
Yeah, I think this dog has considerably more influence and hold over the public relative to David Lynch. Oh no.
So everyone knows it's Pound State. Okay. All right. I feel like I know more about the world at this point.
It's a good dog. That's a
It's
very
a
good
good. I
dog.
mean, pugs are great dog. I want to see like a TikTok of the dog. Here, please be.
There you go.
Okay. So have you ever gone to Groundhog's Day? I went to Groundhog's Day once.
In Punxsutawney.
Punxsutawney. I drove to Punxsutawney. Um, to go to Punxsutawney, you have to get there at 4 in the morning, and it was a 2 hour drive from Pittsburgh. And
I
it's
have to think that
in
it like
February.
going to see the groundhog must be like a completely meta experience now, like refracted through the Bill Murray movie, right?
Absolutely, they all knew what they were doing. Yeah. Um,
There's a bunch of people
there were a
shouting, "Watch
lot of
that
people
first
there.
step! It's a doozy!" Right?
Well, I feel like there weren't a lot of. I feel like there weren't a lot of movie quotes, though.
Okay.
Maybe it was weird. It was super bizarre. What was strangest was that everyone took it extremely seriously, like exactly as seriously as they do in the movie. Like people in suits with a groundhog just doing like a 2 hour ceremony to pull the groundhog out of the thing where he's left a written scroll telling you whether or not there's winter. It's not like they put a groundhog and let the groundhog decide. It's like someone wrote a scroll in advance and said it's from the groundhog, and they do the entire thing like
Sourced
with a
from an
straight face, and I
actual
don't understand
meteorologist,
how.
presumably, right?
I hope so. Also, I have bad news. I think Punxsutawney Phil has died a couple times.
Well, I
I
have
don't
to
think
think
he's
that
the
it's
original
more
groundhog.
like it's kind of become like a the king is dead, long live the king type situation, right? Punxsutawney Phil is more
Exactly.
of an
It's a
idea
title.
now than a person. He's more of a
So
lifestyle than a person.
I guess so. My question is a Bones Day a good
Yeah,
day
Bones Day
or
is
a
a good
bad
day.
day? Or is Bones Day is good? Okay,
The
no
question
bones
is
is
whether
bad.
the dog is going to have enough energy to rise from its sort of slug-like state to go and retrieve or
And get
otherwise pursue a bone. And I gotta tell you, when I got it this morning, it did not feel like a Bones Day.
mm-hmm.
But over time, it evolved that way. And then it wasn't. After lunch, I took
Wait,
an hour-long nap.
is it a Bones Day?
Yeah.
Oh man, that sounds great. Like, has anyone made isitabonesday.com? I feel like this really needs to exist.
The dog is. DeMarco says the dog is 13, which is extraordinarily old for, I think, any dog, but in particular a pug.
That's that's too old for a pug. Oh my god, its poor little eyes have probably popped out.
So the idea that it actually gets out of its bed to get a bone is
Oh no.
a minor miracle, right?
It's not even that. It's that it he just stands the dog up. And if the
Okay.
dog stands up instead of flopping over, it has bones. Okay, well it was a bones day. Great. Well, don't know about tomorrow
I'll
though.
take this over horoscopes. I can't quite handle the nuance and sophistication of horoscopes. This is a very binary. Should I go for it
I
or should I
love.
not go for it kind of thing?
Well, all right. The next time it's no bones day, I'm just gonna be like, you know what, Jeff? Nah, I'm good.
Yeah.
Not
Today is a
today. There's no
bones day though.
bones.
We are told. So
That
let's
is
get
bones
these
day.
friggin' particle emitters emitting the way we want.
Oh my god. All right. After this stream, maybe I will buy isitaboneday.com. But oh, there's a Twitter. Oh, thank goodness. That's all I needed. How do I? Where is my Twitter? I'm just gonna follow this on stream. It's okay. Everything's fine. I see that nothing works though. That could be a problem. New. Oh, maybe my keyboard stopped working. Noodles Bones Day. Because I don't want to open up the TikToks. I'm not a TikTok guy. Great. All right. So how do we get the shape? How do we turn this into like little triangles at
I
the very
have
least,
no idea
or
what I'm doing with the
lines?
particle emitter. I'm actually on the
I love
Unity
it.
documentation right now. I should probably go.
Cool.
I should probably go to the 2021 version of the manual though. The 2017 one not as useful.
The particle emitter has a damageable? Fascinating.
Does it?
Or the bullet explosion has a damageable script. Did I just add that? Mm,
Uh,
let me just reset this real quick.
it might have been added by mistake.
I think I just added that somehow.
Oh,
So yes, it was added by mistake. All right. Render mode billboard. Ah, I see. So mesh? What do you do now? Do you give me little cubes? It's hard to tell because you explode really fast. You know what? Before I totally do fuck up this thing, how about I just make a new particle emitter?
I'm into it.
Yeah. Um, how? How you do that?
I believe you create a new empty object and then add a particle emitter component to it.
Okay. Oh, interesting. Okay, I can't create empty objects in the assets folder. That does seem to be correct. I think I can also put the particle system here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I'd love to get rid of those outlines, and I don't know why they started showing up, but that's fine.
Yeah, that's funny. I think it's another option in the particle. I think it's on the particle emitter itself. Well, I would
Okay.
have assumed that show bounds was it, but it appears to be unchecked. So
Yeah, I mean, this is the bounds of the emitter. Here, I'm gonna make this little prefab real
I
quick so
see.
we can
So
just
it shows
jump
the volume.
into.
Got it.
I want to jump into particle world. Oops. There we go. Okay, no show bounds. Thank you. If I change the renderer from billboard to mesh, I do
Uh,
see that it's rendering little cubes here instead, which is cool.
oh, and the cubes have a texture on it. Is that
Cubes have a
because
texture.
they have that
Yeah,
default material on it? Um,
I
I
gotcha. Is that what's going on? So if I give it actually one of our like materials that is glowy, is it just going to glow
it'll just glow. Yep.
into it? Cool.
Now we could make a mesh that is like a really tiny line segment,
Hmm.
and it would actually
Yeah.
just be a tiny little box, right?
Hmm.
Or although the stretch billboard might work, right?
Stretch forward feels kind of right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not sure what it's changing though.
I can't see your screen quite as well because the chat is sitting over it.
Oh,
Maybe I'll
sorry.
just watch on Zoom. No, don't worry about it. I'll watch on Zoom.
Okay. Yeah, I got the chat up, so no big deal.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. You know, we should have the chat auto expire after a certain point. I think that's on me. I can change that later. So what is going on in the game if I do this? I'm just gonna have nothing, I guess.
Maybe you were still playing while you added it. So try playing again.
Oh no, that's a good point. Oh, I think you're right. Damn.
I was wrong.
Hmm.
Huh.
It just disappears.
Uh,
But I see
what is
it.
it? Does it loop? It
It's
is
looping.
looping.
Hmm. Hmm. Color over lifetime, color by speed, external
Wait,
forces, which is
save the
cool.
level and then play.
Oh, god damn it. Unity.
Yeah,
Heck yeah.
that actually looks super dope.
Yeah, here's our teleport animation. Did it. Okay, cool. Cool. Shit. Um, okay, so the render is, and it has the length scale. Okay, so I can make I can make long particles. That's
Yep.
cool.
And what if
I
the particle
can't
size
seem
was, yeah,
to.
what if it was even like 100th of that? Yeah.
Hmm.
Yes. And
So
it's all
I wonder if
outlined
it's
now.
better this. It's all out. Whoa.
It's all, that's why they're orange, I
Why?
think.
Why is it doing that? That's so interesting.
Oh, I don't know. I kind of wouldn't trust what you see, yeah, without reciting it.
Totally.
Oh,
I have I have a lot of questions, but it is cool. So it's some of them weird. It's like camera based that it's doing that.
is it when they is it when they leave the volume maybe? It could be camera
No,
based.
it's like if I pull the camera, I think if I pull like maybe the camera into intersecting with them, they start doing that. That's really bizarre.
Okay. Yep.
Something strange is happening.
Yep.
That's okay. Um, yeah, I don't mind this. Do.
See you later,
Okay,
DeMarco.
that's feeling.
Thanks for coming.
Bye,
We'll see you
dude.
next
Thanks for
time.
hanging. It's just here for our tank banter, which I understand. All right. So what I really want, I want these things to have a little gravity. I want some real ass sparks in here.
Yeah, they should have
I think. Do
is
I
there
need to
any
give them? I need
external
to turn on
forces?
external forces. Hmm.
Hmm. Let me Google it for you.
Okay. Meanwhile, I'm gonna Google Unity particle emitter. Turn off orange outline. Yeah, why? I've clicked this link before. That's the worst part. Check the selected outline setting, but the gizmos are off. Come the fuck on.
Do you think this is maybe a 2021.2 just bug?
Maybe. I guess gizmos. Yeah, nothing really makes sense to me. So yeah, probably. Looks better though. It's bizarre that some of these do the weird thing. Plan awake, max particles, velocity over lifetime, inherent velocity. Is it force over lifetime? Maybe do I want to give it like a whoa. Oh, that's kind of it. Yeah, I put a negative 10z force. So I think if I
A Z
pump these
force
up
is a
with a
very
speed,
surprising. Like, why isn't it the Y force?
yeah, that's what I started too, and they just started flying off into infinity. So I don't know, because like, oh well,
Oh, it's local. I see. Yeah.
maybe, yeah. Oops, that's 100. Okay. That's got some gravity. So like I guess I want
Wait, how'd you get rid of the outlines again?
is spark. It was this selection
Oh,
outline.
okay. Great.
Yeah. Not particularly intuitive.
Also not useful per particle. Very strange.
Yeah, right?
I
So
think
the
you
speed
can
of
maybe...
100.
Is
Yeah.
their initial velocity just too high? Is that why you had to set the gravity as fast as...
I mean, I'm kind of just like looking at
Okay, cool.
what. Yeah, it's like I feel like high velocity and high gravity is sort of what's going to make these things feel
Yep.
sparkier, if that makes sense.
Yep.
I don't know if that's true. Delta time scaled. Interesting. And then is there like oh there's collision. Okay. Ooh, weird. Wow, no wonder I guess I've experienced that thing in games where like when you are in a particularly particle intense scene, sometimes that's where the frame rate chugs. And I bet if particles are colliding with things, that sure seems like it could be related.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I'm kind of curious what this looks like in game.
Uh huh. Okay. Well, that speed is very different than what I expected.
The scale is way off, is I think what it is.
Mm, gotcha.
Like that's 100 units per second, right? So 1 unit.
Oh, gotcha. Yep. So how did you tackle the other one? Should we actually be thinking of this in terms of like we do this in 1 units and then scale the emitter down?
I think it's probably going to be easiest if you design this at the scale that the game is running at, and then don't worry about scaling the emitter unless you really have to.
Okay, I'm digging it. That seems right. Okay, so let's see. Our
-10 was actually pretty good, I think. That's roughly close to Earth gravity, I think.
That's a great point. Okay, sorry, let me just make this scale like something a little more reasonable. Cute. Okay, they're not quite bouncing, but yeah, minus 10 sounds right. I bet this will look punchy. Oh yeah, they do have a little pop in there. All right, let's start them off with a little.
We probably just want them to die when they collide, right? Is that an option?
Oh, I bet it is. Yeah,
Now
that's
we've
really
just added
funny.
these gross worms.
I know. The worms are particles. Oh, okay, that's really hilarious.
4 second lifetime is probably 4 times too long, do you think? Or
Yeah,
5 second
yeah,
lifetime?
absolutely. Oh, mm-hmm. Fuck, it's really hard to type like this. You just have to like kind of trust that it's happening.
Yeah.
And these are still too long, huh?
Yeah, maybe 10 times too long.
Yep.
I
I
don't
think they
know.
were.
Actually, maybe a little bit long. Maybe let's try 0.5. Yeah.
Neat. Let's see. Collision, dampen bounce. That's fun. You can have a lifetime loss on collision. I like it.
Yeah.
Very neat. Cool. I would do obstacles
And terrain.
and terrain. I assume
Maybe.
that helps someone. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Neat.
It's funny. Is our world boundary not considered an obstacle?
That's a good question. I thought it was dying when it hit that. Oh, I
They
guess
look like
not,
they're
huh?
bouncing out of the world, don't they?
Yeah,
Whatever.
they
I
do.
think it's fine. I think it's fine. We'll worry about like our whole like collision, our whole layering system right now is not that
Totally, but I'm gonna put it on terrain.
okay.
I feel safe in that. Ah, yeah, now they bounce off of that. Cool. All right, so I like these a lot more, but I want more of them. Um,
Uh, Go to emission.
thank you. Oh,
Just go to 100.
I mean, or 1,000?
Dude. Yeah.
That okay, cool. Yeah, this is what I wanted from our shit.
Yeah.
Cool, 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 cool. Now we're talking.
Tom, you're officially
Color,
the
but
sizzle captain,
I love
the
sizzle,
lord of
man.
all sizzle.
I love sizzle. You know what's funny? I think these are being affected by the nav mesh. You see that?
That is weird.
Isn't that weird? That's not what I expected at all,
No.
and kind of not what I want.
Static colliders. There you go. Actually, I think it might be the quality. I think it's like predicting the collision or something like that.
Huh?
The collision accuracy doesn't need to be super good for these. I think
No,
it's.
I do agree. I do agree. Yeah, I think this layer was better anyway. Okay, cool. Mode. What even does 2D do? Huh.
2D collision? I'm not sure.
It's interesting because like, yeah, yeah. Okay, cool. Well, I really like this already. Sorry, I'm such a Sizzle fan.
I'm into it.
Yeah. How? Okay, so how color? I guess like my white material. Can I color this though?
I think the material shader has to have a color property, or else it's not going to know what to look at, right?
Gotcha. If I look at the
So if you use the regular shader, which are we doing that now?
this is the standard shader. Oh, do I want the particle shader? Oh, wait, oh, I'm
Well,
in
no,
Pro
that's
Builder.
Pro Builder.
Sorry, yeah. The mouse is
Yeah,
fine.
totally.
Standard unlit? Maybe probably
Yeah, they're
unlit.
unlit, probably.
Okay, I gotcha.
I'm guessing now the color will.
Yep, yep, that's in there. Cool.
And then there's this somewhat inscrutable gradient editor here.
Oh man, you haven't done enough Photoshop.
No,
This sucker is
I don't think I have.
this sucker is bog standard. Oops. Yeah, I've encountered this friend before, and I do not like it.
So you can basically
What's
have
in there too?
multiple transition points. This is
Yeah,
fantastic. This is the
exactly.
way
So
that
this
we can
is
have like more than two colors, right?
mhm.
So you could gradient over the whole rainbow if you wanted to here.
You absolutely can, yeah.
Cool. Wasn't a suggestion. It was a.
No, no, no. I'm trying to come up with a little, smokiness or fieriness.
Got it.
I'm a little confused by sort of its interpretation of this, but I guess
It is
I guess the
color by
speed.
speed, which I actually think maybe. What happens if you click on start color?
Oh, is this the same thing?
No, it's not. I would expect start color.
Oh, this is speed range 0 to 1. Let me make this 0 to 4. There we go. That's more what I expected because like
Yeah, I wish
our
that there was just like you could pick different colors initially, right? And maybe there is a there's an option in the many menus, but
hmm?
the fact that there's only one start color is surprising to me. Oh, you can do
Oh,
gradient. There you go.
there we go.
Just turn that shit
Solve
off. Yeah, there you go.
solve that problem. Alrighty. So yeah, so then this just becomes a total distribution of.
So explain to me how this gradient picker works.
Sure. So you can. I'm clicking below the gradient
Mm-hmm.
to add more stops, and you can add as many stops as you want.
How do you delete a stop? You just drag it to the end, or
Now that's a great question. Um, yeah, that's the part that doesn't work the same on all platforms. I think you can kind of like drag it to the end. Yeah, you can probably collapse this into. I think it's at the end now. Who knows?
okay, yeah.
Yep, yep.
And then the
That,
the
that clears it out on
upper
this.
the upper ones is just how wide the gradient is.
This is opacity.
Oh well. Oh, I see.
Yes, you can have RGB gradient and alpha gradients. Um, Unity, you better not have crashed and deleted my shit.
Oh no.
Well, I'm beach balling. I don't know if you can see that.
I can't. That's
Cool.
interesting.
It's a beach ball. That's fine. I feel like I understand how to recreate this at least.
Yes. It turns out the real prize was learning how to use the Unity particle system.
I mean, I knew it could do something like this, so I'm glad to see it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
I'm
force query
enjoying the continued adventures of the Sizzle King.
of the what?
The Sizzle King.
Oh,
That's
this
who
is
you
okay.
are.
Oh, that's me. I
Yes.
love it. I mean,
Because I'll go
the
in
game
and
needs some
I'll
sizzle.
do like the worst programmer art possible. Um, like my crowning achievement was that PNG file of the mortar decal.
I mean, but that is really cool. So I'm a fan. Oh, game view. Do I? Okay, particle system. Is there anything here? What the fuck? Oh wait, hang on. There we go. Okay, so we've lost our mission. Let's just bump that up to a big old 1,000. Oh, 10,000 is too many. Let's see. Lifetime should be 0.5. Start speed 4. Force over lifetime, -10. Collision, very low. Thank you. I feel like I better get used to recreating shit in Unity when it does something like this.
Yeah.
So
Try saving multiple times.
I was gonna say, yeah, I'm gonna. It's weird because I don't feel this feels like a thing I shouldn't have to save it. Does that if that makes any sense? Like I kind of expect this to do the right thing, but it definitely doesn't.
That's an interesting UI problem.
Yeah, I guess like yeah, something like this feels like a. It feels like it should be auto saving more often. Like
Sure.
it's not a text editor, but it clearly is. Okay. Nice. Apply prefab. Boo, first of a lifetime. Okay. It's close. I've lost some of the sizzle though. It's too bad.
Starting color was it?
Yeah. Let's go for a nice. That. That. Oh, I am using the wrong shader. That's what's happening. You need to be the particle shader. Unlit. And material should be white because. All right. Well, now I don't know.
Yeah, that's confusing.
It is confusing.
The material, you're just modifying the white material though, right?
That's what I thought I was doing. Yeah.
Because
Huh.
I don't know if the white material is the like. I think ideally this will have its own material because the white material is used for other stuff, right?
Oh yeah, totally. I guess we use this glow material in just a lot of places. Um, oh, okay, so this is color over time in some strange way. Cool. That's interesting.
Oh, that's what the starting color thing does. I thought it
I
wasn't doing that
guess
before though, right?
I well mm, the start color of particles. Yeah, it's really like not what I'd expect.
Could you click the little down arrow again? Is there multiple types of gradients? Maybe random between two gradients. Maybe
Whoa.
I. That's confusing.
Yeah. Gradient gradient is what I expect. Also, I guess I didn't need external force because there's just, or I didn't need force over lifetime because there's just a gravity modifier here. 10. Oh, delightful. Is a gravity of one Earth standard? I guess so.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, star color doesn't look right. Let's do
Yeah.
that.
So what if you
Totally.
change the duration to something shorter? Does it go through the colors more quickly?
Oh, that's what it was. Okay. Because this is sort of like that's our explosion. All right. I think I can get behind that.
So the gradient represents like a linear story of what the colors are because they seem like they end up being. They start off yellow, or do they? It seems like it starts on
I,
the right, doesn't it?
I think it's yeah, I think it starts it is a representation of no, it starts red. It's a representation of the color of the emitter over time. So the
Okay.
life cycle of the emitter emits particles in these colors. Oh, okay. I changed it to random color.
That's what we want, right?
That's what we want. Cool. Okay.
These could be longer. I think we could maybe, or if we could randomize the length scale, that would be amazing.
Oh, that would be nice. Yeah. Mm,
But maybe even 0.1. Is that too much?
oh, for the length?
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Let me put this back on looping too.
I guess it depends on what we're. It depends on what kind of explosion we want.
True. 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 Yeah. So let me see. Let me look at the where's our shape? Because I don't think I want a cone. I kind of want like yeah, a little more sphere. I mean, hemisphere is actually great.
Yeah.
Um, what a cool little thing. Don't know what the texture does, but you know what? We only have a couple textures, so let's see. Huh. Huh.
Yeah. I don't. I don't. I think we want
Yeah, I
solid,
made a
right? I
little
don't think we
mouth.
want textures.
No,
We
not
want
not at
vertex
all.
colors, basically.
Mhm. Okay, so I think all right. I have thoughts. I want this. I want everything faster.
Okay.
Our speed is gonna be like 8, and our gravity is gonna be Jupiter. And then our max particles, we're gonna go, oops, 5,000 and rate over distance. Huh. Oh, burst. That's cool. All right, let's do 2,000. So this stops. I guess these need even less. Oh, it's punchy. It looks kind of goofy.
It's possible to spend your entire life, I think, on these.
Adding particle mirrors, that
Yeah.
seems correct. Yeah, I buy that.
I'm into the idea of working on these and seeing what we can do. Like, what's the best low particle effect that we can get for certain different things? Um,
Like low poly, you mean? Yeah. Low poly or low
Low
particle?
particle, because like 5,000 at a time that are solving collisions, it's gonna be a performance issue, I think.
That's pretty goofy,
Yeah,
huh? Okay. That
but I
makes
don't know. For now,
sense.
let's just make it look good. We can optimize later.
Well, I guess 1,000 is per second. So if I'm doing a quarter second emitter, I can actually like, yeah.
Sure.
But I agree that looks a little silly. Um that 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 actually had like a nice little.
Yeah.
That's cool. I want them to be more contained, or maybe I want this whole thing to be smaller.
Hmm.
But I'm digging it. Oh yeah, that's actually
It's pretty
starting to
cool.
feel really nice.
Yep.
But I guess you just keep going smaller until it feels good. It's tough doing this in like, yeah, that scale. Well, that looks neat. Cool. All right, well, I'm gonna make this new bolt explosion, and we'll see how awful it is.
Cool.
And we should talk about like stealth or something more useful than me fucking with
This is
these.
gonna be a sizzle day. It turned out.
This is okay, okay. So that happens. Prefab weapons. Prefab bullet explosion 2. Nice.
Where's the old explosion?
That's this one.
Okay. So jank.
Yeah, it's the old hotness. Here's the new hotness somewhere. Yeah. You know what? It's bigger.
Yep.
That's
And then I think if you just
that's
go to prefab client
my only claim.
effects.
Oh, does it just take a prefab as a thing? That'd be cool.
Uh, Never mind. Oh, it's in the object prefab list.
Okay, cool. Check prefab list. Oh, okay. I can do that. So if I give it the bullet explosion 2, I like this little thing a lot. Object prefab list has been a fun tool.
Yeah.
Why is this so jank? Doesn't look like what I just rendered at all.
It's possible that the particles are rotated the wrong direction.
Whoa.
So
Interesting.
when can we see the rotation when we spawn it? So wherever we're calling the client effects to spawn the rotation.
Oh, gotcha.
What's calling bullet explosion?
The inverse of the rotation. So it's trying to make it pop out of where it was coming from. That makes sense.
But that's assuming that the motion of the explosion is heading towards positive z. but the root, the origin is positive
Oh.
y. So we need to basically do a rotation that rotates positive y to the. Yeah. Okay. So basically, if we do quaternion dot rotate or. Oh, or we could just update this. Yeah, that's totally fine as well.
I think we should do it here so it's like we only have to we can drop more in the expected way, right? Yeah.
Oh,
So is this I
okay.
need to turn it towards
I would. Uh, you can just rotate this, right? Isn't there a rotation tool?
Mhm. There used to be.
There's one for mesh editing. It doesn't seem like there's one here, which is weird.
There's the rotate tool.
Rotate tool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and so if you just grab the you want to point up towards positive z. So yeah, rotate around the x-axis until it's 90 basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's see what that does. It's funny. It looks good up here. It looks jank up close, which is
Is it
surprising.
shooting at the ground? The bullets are hitting. Where are the bullets hitting? They're hitting above ground, or are they? Can you tell whether
They are, yeah.
They should be hitting like halfway up the block, but they look like they're hitting the bottom of the block, don't they? Hard to say.
Hard to say. That collider might need some tuning. Sizzle. I just saw. Oh, I wanted to make sure that I put the terrain on the terrain layer. Ground boundary. I don't see this whole thing can have it. Yes. All right. Well, it's improved, and I've learned things about the particle system, so I feel good about that.
Yeah.
Okay, so actually, I think if I look at the mortar, it looks like it's hitting sideways.
Right.
Okay. Interesting.
So let's try to solve it. Let's
Okay.
go back to the code that is inverting the direction of the missile. We're inverting the rotation. I think that's what we want, right? We basically want some. The rotation is taking the model which points to positive z and rotating it towards where it's currently facing. The inverse rotation of that should take something that's positive z pointing and then face the opposite way.
Yes. Let me do this. All right. I don't think this is facing positive z right now.
I don't think so either. Can we zero out the rotation? Yeah, that's facing positive z.
Okay.
So this is radians?
So
is that what we're looking at? Radians is pi over 2. I don't know what this rotation value is. What units are we talking about here?
I thought it was degrees. Yes, this is degrees.
Okay, because I thought you
It's
had it pointed at
moving
positive z.
90 per. Now that zeroed out feels like this hemisphere is at positive.
Let's turn
so
gravity
this
off
is the
if we
emission
can,
shape.
and then that'll make it a lot clearer.
Oh, sure. Okay.
Let's turn gravity off and make it a cone, and then we can, or make it even like a line. If yeah, cone will do it. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's Z.
And so what's the rotation score, right? What was the rotation setting in the transform?
0. So it was at -90, and then we tried it at 90. I'm not sure we've actually tried it at 0. Let me pop this in real quick.
I would have.
Okay. Okay. That's not really what I expected at all. Huh. Should it be pointed at -Z? Backwards?
We can try. It's not the way other things work, I think. Like if you look at the
What's weird,
tank
because
model,
this looks.
it looks like it's yeah.
What?
If you shoot once, what's happening? It looks like there's multiple
That
emitters.
is once. It does. That is once. I'm not sure it's multiple emitters. I think it's one emitter. Is the emitter bouncing off of me? What is happening?
Yeah, we could turn collision off too, if that will make it a little bit easier to read.
Yeah, let's do that real quick.
Yeah, it's like almost 90 degrees off, right?
Well, no.
That looks correct, doesn't it? Except when you're
It,
facing
it
up.
so left and right look correct. Up and down, I think, are backwards.
Yes. Okay. Okay. Great. What would cause that to happen?
Huh. It's really, really weird.
And then also on the XY plane, or sorry, the XZ plane, when you're shooting the mortar, I bet the particles are facing
Mm-hmm.
downwards.
Let's check it out.
You're in the prefab.
Sometimes I bet.
Oh, I'm surprised it worked.
I'm surprised it worked too.
Oh, it's facing sideways.
Huh. What?
Okay. And then so if you go to the code,
Huh?
is quaternion.inverse the right thing? I mean, it kind of
Good
should be, because it's the
question.
thing that should be basically bring you back to your original position.
Yeah.
Can we look at the bullet
Yeah, I
model
would.
really quick?
Sure. Yeah, essentially, I would have expected standard shell.
It's going to be under. Oh yes. And then the bullet model is definitely
Here's why the
facing
bullet
positive
hits
Z,
early, by
right?
the way. Bullet model is facing positive Z. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, and then sorry, can we go back to the code?
Absolutely.
Which object are we on right now in the projectile damager? It is the bullet, right? So we're reading the right transform.
Oh, that's a good
Well, the
question.
position is correct, isn't it? The position is definitely correct.
Right. Yeah, it's where it hits, and yeah, this is takes no parameters, so this is definitely on the bullet. Hmm. Weird. Hmm.
Quaternion.inverse should be doing what we want, right? Like it should be saying take something that's facing positive z, and if we're
Yeah.
inverting something, let's say the transform like rotates you 90 degrees around the y-axis. The inverse of that
Hmm.
should rotate you 90 degrees around the y-axis the opposite direction, right?
Yes. From 90 degrees around Y.
Like if you go counterclockwise around the y-axis and you invert that
Hmm.
rotation, it should be clockwise around the y-axis. That's the logic that we're using here.
Right. It's not the complement. It's not going to do negative 270. It's going to just flip the sign. Yeah. Weird. Weird.
Well, it kind of is the complement, right? Well, it depends on what you mean by complement. Complement is usually within a 90-degree range, right? Or within 180 degrees, right?
Right. Okay. Um, sure looks like it's pointing in the right direction. Damn.
Um, we could try adding this as exhaust to the bullet and see what happens. And it should basically follow
Oh,
the same exact math, right?
that is a great point. Okay.
You can even save it out as exhaust if you want it to be a different particle emitter.
Can I can duplicate this, right? Great. I guess I need to teach the object prefab list about this. So many prefabs.
So there's an easy way and a hard way to do this. The easy way would be to add the particle emitter to the game object, but let's do it programmatically so that
I wanted to do it with like the same. I wanted that transform, right? Yeah.
exactly, yeah. So basically on the bullet there's like a there is like a bullet mover, right? No, builder mover. Is there a bullet
Is it just the standard shell
it would
script?
be,
Yeah, this just
yeah.
has an update function. Cute. Okay. So let's see. Is it on create that we just was on the server, but
We'd need to add it as a we need to have a
it
pointer
needs
to
to
it
be a
because
child.
we need to constantly be rotating it. I guess the rotation doesn't change for this, right? As
I was
soon
gonna
as
say
you spawn
I
it.
think we added it as a child object. Yeah. Um, so yeah, this will be prefab bullet exhaust, and then the we can actually hand it the transform here. This parents it immediately, right? This is the
I
shorthand
don't
for
think
that.
so.
Oh, unity instantiate prefab. I thought passing the transform in as the parent did that. Maybe not. No, you have to set the transform dot parent. Okay. Okay, so this transform is actually like nothing. And then transform dot parent equals transform. This is expecting it to move with the bullet, right? Which is what we're trying to do.
Yep.
Okay. All right, well, let's see what that does. So this should be the trail should be moving in the same direction as the bullet for this.
Yeah.
I don't see shit. Damn.
Why don't we shoot and then pause? Is that possible?
Okay. Absolutely. Is there a shorthand for pause, by the way?
Command Shift P.
Cool.
It might be Command P. I don't.
Command Shift P.
Okay.
Cool.
And then if you open up your bullet, is there a particle emitter on it?
Yeah, there is. Neat. Oh. The is at 0, 0.
Did the parenting actually work?
Possibly not. Okay. I must be wrong about that. Do we do any parenting of like moving objects?
No,
We
not
might
right now.
Huh? Okay. Parent relative position.
That parents the transform is parenting of the transform what creates the object graph? Is that how that works, or is there another, is like a more formal like game object dot set parent?
That is a really good question. Let me fire a couple more of these off. Because it sure looked like this is a child object, which I've never seen before. So
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
and so
Yeah.
okay, so this is
Try doing transform dot set parent, and then pass the parent in, and then pass false in as the second.
okay.
Because there's a second argument that says if true, the parent relative position and yeah.
This one, okay.
Set parent. And then false.
Cute. It's really strange that setting the transform is what makes it in the scene graph. And
I agree.
Not something more explicit than that.
I guess the transform is really the only thing. Oh, there it is. Yeah, you can kind of see it.
Well, we made a shot. We made a shotgun. Yeah. Oh, I think it's pretty evident. So it's going in the direction of the bullet.
Yeah, and then so you could set the
weird.
local transform to awg.transform.localrotation. Is that there's dot local rotation?
And
it would be the Euler angle 180 degrees around the y-axis.
Oh, I see. Yeah, totally.
So quaternion.Euler, is that such a thing?
Mm-hmm.
0,
180,
0. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Same. Yeah, I would say that actually looks pretty correct.
It looks pretty good. Yeah, we need to set the mount point to be the. Oh, it's very slow, but it looks delicious. These particles need to last for way longer, right?
Yeah. The smoke trail needs to have a long.
Yeah.
Oh my god, this is I can't even tell what's a bullet.
Oh, and they're looping forever, aren't they?
They're looping forever, yeah.
I guess that's what you want.
It looks like. Yeah, I was gonna say the exhaust loops until the thing dies, which does seem correct.
Yeah,
because it just gets destroyed with the bullet, which is cool. Okay, I'm into that.
So
interesting.
What I want to do is
Is this actually more correct than
Yeah, but we can't.
this inverse?
Yeah, but we don't want to make the explosion a child of the bullet. So, but what we can do
Hmm.
is for the damage projectile damager. Can we get the right here? Can we get like the child of? Can we get the particle emitter that is the exhaust? Is that possible? Can we do like transform dot or like how do we get a sibling component is basically what I'm looking for.
Oh, oh, it's not a sibling though, because it's
The damager is
get
on.
component.
Oh, it's a child, right?
Yeah,
So it's like Unity get component in child. Get component in children.
hmm,
And then it's going to be particle emitter or particle system, is it?
particle system. Uh, so this is our exhaust emitter.
Yeah. And then can you get from that do exhaust emitter dot transform dot rotation, but not local. It's going to be the global rotation. I think that's what that
Global
means.
rotation.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that does seem right. Cool.
Now this is not going to like we have to add the exhaust to every single bullet type, which we need to figure out how to refactor, but shoot downwards now. Because that was the
Yeah,
issue
this looks.
before,
I mean,
right?
this looks totally correct for where the bullet exhaust is, or where the explosion is coming from.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't love
Cool.
this hack. I would like the math to just work. So can you do me a quick favor?
Well,
Is like when we're doing this, can we print out the exhaust emitter's global rotation and then also print out the result of inverting the transform's rotation? Does that make sense?
sure. Yeah. Exhaust emitter dot transform dot rotation and transform dot rotation quaternion dot inverse.
Yeah, and then if there's like a dot normalize at the end of those, maybe that'll like it's hard because like there's multiple quaternions that resolved at the same rotation.
Sure.
So we'll
Sure.
see.
That
We'll
seems
see how this
right.
looks. Yeah.
Cool. All right. So I'm gonna fire. We're gonna do one bullet. See what we get. Not quite right.
They're not quite the same. I don't understand quaternion math well enough to quite understand
No, but
when they're
the
equivalent
what
because they're very very similar in value. Actually, this is
I mean,
right. This
they're
one actually this worked. Try shooting upwards though. That was the one where it didn't work, right?
oh, that's a great point. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I
So
mean, these values are exactly flipped for position. What are the positional units of
yeah, I wonder if there's a
quaternion?
website that lets us like type in quaternion values and show the rotation in
Quaternion
visual.
calculator? Oh.
Yeah. 3D rotation converter. No, that's not what we want. We want something that'll like visualize something like maybe we should actually make one in WebGL or something like that. It's like type in the values of a quaternion and it will like apply the rotation.
Oh, that would be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll
Is
work
it
on that.
this?
Oh yes, this will do it.
It's like
Unless is
had enough
there
quaternions? Check out my colony simulator. Some other game dev already did this. That's really
Oh
funny.
no, this is
I'd like to see the top of this, but it's really challenging.
is this website messed up?
A little bit.
Uh
Here, let me just delete this element real quick. There we go.
gosh, web design.
All better.
Okay, great.
Okay, so yeah, so if I want to So do you think this is WXYZ or XYZW? Oh, it's 0 for both. So W is probably 0. 1, 0, 0. I mean, this is flipped. Is that right?
Sorry,
Huh.
I can't. You went too fast. I couldn't see.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Um, I mean, just swapping the if this is WXY0 or WXYZ, flipping these is a different angle.
What is this visualizing? It's saying that this is a right-handed counterclockwise. It's a right-handed rotation around the z-axis, right? Is that click apply
Yes.
rotation? What is that?
It's a vector going this way. And that is our top one here, which is 1, 0, 0 effectively.
I'm a little bit confused as to what this is saying. What the tool what this web tool is saying.
Well, so this was the first set of values, which was the correct rotation. This is the the exhaust emitter's rotation.
Yeah.
So applying this is the inverse, which to me looks like a vector pointing the exact opposite
Yeah, it's
direction.
almost as if the inverse that we're doing is not correct on the.
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm brain farting on quaternion math right now, but
Because they're weird. It's okay.
okay. Well, that is a problem that we know about and can solve.
Yep. Okay. Hmm. I do. Yeah. Is there? Can we do quaternion addition here? Is that even a thing? No, probably not. I guess I just want to I want to do this local rotation again somehow, but it's probably not going to happen. Weird. Yeah. Okay.
Maybe quaternion inverse is subtly not what I think it is. But it should be, right? Like, if you multiply quaternion by its inverse, you should get
Yeah.
the quaternion that doesn't rotate something, right?
Hmm.
You should get the identity quaternion.
Yeah. Hmm. Weird. Okay. Yeah, it seems strange. So this probably, I mean, I'll put this back to where it was because I think this causes a huge problem for other weapons.
Okay.
I
Yeah, because
think
we don't have a
perhaps,
particle system on everything. But
yeah, and you're right. I don't want to depend on this. I think perhaps it was never right. That sucks.
no, it was just never right.
Yeah.
So I'll
Cool.
hammer away at that.
Okay. Neat. Well, we learned some stuff, and also these bullets have sweet tails. Yeah, that's really strange. Okay. Cool.
Yeah, it's
Great.
almost
Well,
like
I
they're like deflected by 90 degrees around the
yeah.
z-axis or something like that, right?
Yep. But I like that we don't have to apply rotations inside of the emitter itself. So
Yes, everything is
yeah,
oriented the same way, which is good.
I feel good about
Or
that.
rather, front means the same thing on the local axes for every model, including the particle
Right.
emitters. Yeah.
Right. That's so funny.
Gosh,
Cool.
this stuff is so confusing.
I know. Well, happy Wednesday.
Yes,
We did
same
it.
to you.
All right. Yeah. Thanks for hanging around. Whoever's still around. Have a great night,
All right,
Twitch.
see everybody next Wednesday. Take care.